So 3 years ago, I was making $15 an hour at Amazon, and today my video business pulls in over $80,000 a month. And the best part is that I only work with clients I actually want to work with. But here's the complete truth. It wasn't some crazy secret or buying the best gear or buying the most expensive camera. It came down to three changes that most videographers never make. So the first change I made is that I stopped selling just videos and I started selling results. Most videographers, when someone asks them, what do they do? Most of them say, oh, I shoot weddings, I shoot corporate events, I shoot social media stuff, pretty much whatever you need. So when you say things like that, it basically tells the client that you're desperate and you don't really specialize in anything and you're basically a commodity. And that's okay if that's you. I used to say pretty much yes to everything, and I'd pretty much lose every client to somebody who specialized in exactly what they were looking for. So the truth is that nobody wants a video. They want what the video will do for their business or do for them. So I'll tell you this quick story. There was this one client I shot this amazing video. It was for a local gym. It had the best lighting, the best editing. The music was on point. It was literally perfect. And he ended up posting that video, got a few likes, got a couple comments. And then pretty much after that, nothing really happened. He didn't get any new leads. He didn't get any new members. And then 3 weeks later, he told me, hey, Chris, the video was absolutely amazing, but it didn't do anything for my business. So from that day moving forward, I stopped saying, oh, I'm going to make you cool videos. Oh, I have these dope edits. I started saying, I will create you videos that will generate leads for your business, sales for your business, and make you an authority in your market. The second big change, and I would say most videographers definitely struggle with this, is that I stopped relying on referrals and word of mouth. I used to spend literally 40 hours a week sending cold DMs, chasing referrals, showing up at networking events, literally doing whatever I could to get clients. And I was just hoping someone would say yes. Out of all these DMs and all these networking events, I would just hope that somebody would want my services. And some weeks I would get some yeses, some book calls, etc. And other weeks I would just get absolutely nothing. I remember this one specific week that I was like, I'm going to spend 10 hours every single day just doing outreach. So I spent about 40, 50 hours and I literally got 0 clients. So what I did is I needed to build a predictable way to get clients and what I call the social funnel. So here's how it works. I run a targeted ad to a specific niche. Let's say that's roofers, chiropractors, lawyers, etc. But instead of pitching in the ad, I give them value and I give them insights into their problems, which most people is basically using outdated strategies to generate leads. So then that ad gets them into my world. They follow me, I DM them, and then from there, my content really warms them up. And then the best part is that I don't have these conversations myself. I have an appointment setter. Their whole job is to handle all my DMs, qualify my leads, and book them into my calendar. So now when I had a system set up just like this, I had 10 to 15 qualified leads a week. So it was predictable, it was consistent. And if I wanted more, all I had to do was really just spend more on ads. So, and if I was getting too overwhelmed with clients, all I had to do was pause. But for the first time ever, I wasn't guessing where my next client was coming from. I already knew what I had to do. And the last change that I had to make, and it was probably the hardest, was letting go of the idea that I had to do everything. At one point, I was the videographer, I was the editor, I was the project manager, I was doing all the client communication. I was literally doing everything. I was making 15K a month, but I was also working 70 hours a week, and I was completely burning out. So here's the biggest truth you'll ever hear. You can't scale if you're doing it all yourself. Period. I don't care if you think you're the greatest videographer, the greatest editor. I don't care if you love what you do. You cannot scale without a team. So I'm going to break down a couple of my first hires. So my first real hire was an editor, and here's pretty much how it broke down. I was charging anywhere from $3,000 a retainer. That usually meant around 15 reels a month. And if I spent about, let's say, 3 to 4 hours editing each reel, that was about 45 to 60 hours of my life every month just in editing. So when I hired that first editor, I paid him around $15 per reel to start. So for those 15 reels, I was paying $225 to buy back 50 hours of my time. Imagine how much time I had in those 50 hours to generate more leads for my business, to push the business forward. So it's basically a no-brainer investment to hire an editor or a team member to buy back your time so you can focus on the revenue generating activities. And here's the thing, you might think, well, I'm the best editor, nobody can match my style. I promise you, there's editors out there, people out there that are better than you at editing. And even if they're not, you can train them, right? You can build SOPs, you can give them feedback, and within a few months, editors can literally be at 90% of what you can do or even better. So my next hire was a project manager. Before, clients were blowing up my phone literally all day. Hey, did you send that draft? Where's the revision? When will this be posted? And once I had that project manager, all client communication went through them. So they handle all the timelines, all the follow-ups, all the updates, and I can finally focus on building the business instead of responding to clients all day. So after that, we kept scaling the business. I brought in another videographer, so I wasn't the only one holding the camera at every single shoot. So this gave me even more time back, and honestly, it was just a lot more credibility because now I wasn't just a freelancer, I was running an actual team. So at this point in my business, that's when the business actually felt like a business because it wasn't all dependent on me. I had the editors, I had the project managers, the videographers. Everybody had their roles in the company and they knew what they had to do. So it wasn't all dependent on me. And that's absolutely the most amazing feeling you can get when you're scaling your business. But here's the real truth. The only way that you can get to this point is that you need to stop thinking like a videographer and you need to start thinking like a business owner. Most videographers think about the shots, the editing, the color grading. Business owners think about the outcomes and the systems. Videographers work in the business. Business owners work on the business. So if you're at this point of the video, your question might be, where do I start? First thing you want to do is you want to fix your offer. Pick one client type, specialize, and become their go-to. Second, you want to build a client acquisition system so you can run ads or you can do strategic outreach, something that's very, very predictable. And number three, you want to delegate smartly. So start with an editor, document the entire thing, and be patient. So if you make these three changes in your business, you can easily scale to $20,000 a month as a videographer. So if you're done playing small and you're ready to actually run your video business like a CEO, that's exactly why I created Video CEO. Inside, I give you the exact offer structure, client systems, and delegation playbook that took me from broke to consistent $80,000 a month. So now you can spend either years and years trying to figure this all out on your own, or you can learn directly from someone who's already done it at scale. So with Video CEO, you'll get one-on-one mentorship from me personally, running you step by step throughout the entire process. So we've had students hit their first 10K months in 30 days, others scale to $40,000 a month in under 90 days. So if you're serious about scaling, not just surviving, hit the link in the description and I'll see you on the inside. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. I drop videos like this every single week and I'll see you on the next video.